Today we're going to be working with some shop equipment. I'm going to show you guys the brake components and how they work together as a brake system. I'm going to start off by identifying the parts. Now we have the S-cam. We have the slack adjuster. S-cam attaches to the slack adjuster. Right there we have the brake chamber. We have the brake shoes. We have the springs to hold it together. What goes on outside of all of it is the brake drum. First, we're going to start off by putting the S-cam in. It has grooves, so you have to fit those grooves all the way through the back. That way it can fit into the slack adjuster. Just like that, on the tip it has the grooves. That's where the slack adjuster goes. That way it doesn't slip and slide. So all the way through the back you put the slack adjuster on because it has teeth. And you have to fit it in properly. Then I'm going to get my snap ring and my snap ring pliers. I'm going to put this on the back of the slack adjuster. That way they stay in place. You do like that just to open them up. It's a thin piece of metal, so it shouldn't be too hard to open and close them up. Then you're going to grab your brake chamber. You're going to apply it in certain slots. Take your air hoses. Pull it through the top. That way you have easy access to hook them up when you get done applying the brake chamber. Put it in the open slots for the screws and just get to tightening. You don't have to hand tighten. You don't have to torque these. You can just hand tighten these. You don't want to strip or break the handlings off, and that way it's just for easier reassemble and deassemble as well. Now we're going to apply the Carter key, and on the back of that is a Carter pin, or as most know it, a locking pin on the back of it. That way it doesn't come loose while in production. So at the end of the assembly it should look something like this, with the slack adjuster and the brake chamber connected to it tightly and everything in place. Next we're going to be hooking up the air hoses to the air supply. Each hose has a different function. You learn about it on each manual specification as far as which hose does what, as far as which one goes to the parking brake, which one goes for the brake pedal, everything like that. Alright, next we're going to be applying the brake shoes. The S-cam should be rotated for an easier mount of the brake shoes. Now there's two different types of ways to rotate the S-cam. One's automatic. It has an automatic slack adjuster on it and it'll automatically apply itself. The one I'm working on has an adjustment bolt on the back of the slack adjuster to where you have to twist it for it to turn. So you have to get that onto the brake rollers. So that's the adjustment bolt. I'm just trying to twist it all the way until I can fit my brake rollers onto the S-cam.
Only if I had a ratchet, it would have been a lot way faster.
Now when applying my brake shoes, I'm going to apply one spring to one side. That way I can sit my brake rollers onto the S-cam for a comfortable fitting. That way it can properly go onto the mounting bracket. When all fitted on, it should look something similar to this. This is how I show you the S-cam is fitted onto the brake rollers and one spring is applied. Now we're going to apply the other side of the springs like so. Just going to take a glue and just something right down. It's really tight. As easy as possible. Make sure you set it. It's time to apply the bearing hub. You just slide it on the most outer part, like so. You're going to slide it onto like a little slip. So you have to work it in. It's kind of sealed tight. It seals it. That way all the fluids that was running through, you get through it, the air, anything like that, gets through, sealed. After that, you're going to put the locking nut. Twist it up. Just keep it locking nut just basically keeps it from unscrewing. After that, you're going to torque it to the specified torque.
Why are you turning that, Matt? You say you don't want the what?
Now, this orange thing is the locking nut that I was talking to you about. It keeps the bolts from the inside from unscrewing. That way everything stays in place while the vehicle is in motion. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, once you feel you have a secure fitting, it's time to apply the wheel axle. You're going to have to slide it in slowly. It has grooves. You don't want to damage any of those little grooves or teeth. You're just going to work it right on into its fitting and push it all the way in for the nuts. Screw in the nuts when that's done and torque to specifications. Now it's time to apply the brake drum. Just slide it in so it comes to fit.
That was easy, right?
Then it is time to apply the Now to describe the relationship between each component, I'm going to start off by explaining the brake chamber applying pressure to the push rod, which pushes out onto the slack adjuster, moving the S-cam, which pushes out the brake shoes, which will rub against the brake drums, stopping the tire in the vehicle. With some tires being heavier than others, like as far as truck tires, car tires, automotive, they're all differ in sizes and weights, so you're just gonna have to work it on the best way you can. In this situation, I grabbed the pole because the tire was way too heavy for us. Each situation varies. Next, I'm gonna apply the nuts. In this situation, I'm going to grab a 1-inch impact driver and just put them on. Remember, there's a specific way to put them on. You just want to always jump the middle. You don't want to put it on bolt by bolt right next to each other. You don't want to crack any frames or anything like that.